Hi folks! If you are looking for the instructional video on putting up a 20 by 20 tent, well, you found it! My name is Reggie, and I'll be guiding you along, giving you thoughtful insights and pro tips to help you really get a good idea of the whole tent putting up process. I'm glad you tuned in. There's definitely many things to be careful about. I think if you watch it multiple times, you'll feel like a pro. Right then, let's get started. Offloading the components we need to set up one tent. Keep everything organized. Listen now, when you take off the poles, keep them lined up nice and neat-like, so we can tell the 10-foot poles from the 8-foot poles. History will grade you on your precision. We'll need 8 10-foot poles. Put them in 2 sets of 4 for easy identification. There is one lone center pole. Set that anywhere close by. We need 4 8-foot poles. Put them as a set on the same baseline as the 10-foot poles. There is a white bag with the top of the tent and a black and yellow hardware tub. And lastly, there are 4 knuckles. Like the others, keep them together. These are used to connect the 10-foot poles. He did a great job, didn't he? You might be wondering, just what's inside that hardware tub? Hold your horses, I'm getting to it. You can't see them well in this photo, but there are 4 metal feet. Once the tent is in place, they will be staked into the ground. Then you see the straps. 4 heavy-duty straps. These will hold the feet to the legs, and there's 4 light-duty straps. You'll hook these to the top of the corner pieces and stake then into the ground. These are the 4 corner pieces that hold all the pipes in place. These 2 cables will hook onto the corner pieces to give stability to the whole thing. There you have it. Tisk, tisk, I told you, history will be grading you. Set the poles up on the same baseline. All right, getting to it. Setting up the frame. Ideally, you would have a 4-person tent team. Here you see a completed frame, folks. But hold your horses. You will not be putting any of the pieces together just yet. No, we're laying them out nice and proper, but not connecting a single one. Do you get me? Right then, place those corner pieces precisely where you want the corners of the tent to stand tall. Next, lay a 10-foot pole at the end of each corner piece. But crucial this is, do not connect them yet. And finally, place a knuckle right in between those 10-foot poles. But do you know what I'm going to say? Absolutely do not put them together yet, by Jove. Now, listen closely to the chap in the cap for the correct way to proceed.
All right, so we are putting together the outside frame. This is the first step of assembling this tent. We start from a corner, and then we bring a pipe into the corner, all the way into the corner.
Here's a pro tip. You'll start with a corner piece, and a corner piece will be the last thing you use to connect it all together.
We can work in 2 directions at the same time. The tendency is to want to have everyone try to put this thing together at the same time. It just doesn't work, because once you have parts of it put together, they're really difficult to join. So we're going to start from a corner and we're going to work around. So you guys can start to join in that knuckle, the next pipe. I'll work this way. We bring in the knuckle. We bring in the next pipe. Now we're ready to put the next corner on. Always make sure that when the corner comes in, this hook is facing up.
What?
Just make sure that that hook is pointing skyward. Yeah, excellent. And then we want to make sure that a corner is the last part going together, just because it requires less movement to actually make the joint.
Did you catch that? A corner piece will connect everything together. That's the easiest way, folks.
Okay, next step is the cables.
You heard what he said. After the frame is together, we are going to need to put on the cables. But do it diagonally. Yeah, that's the ticket. Diagonally.
Put the cables going diagonally from corner to corner.
The top cable will be under tension, so there's a trick to getting it on. Watch closely now.
Son, it's just not quite long enough. That's because it has to be under tension. So this cable has to be the one that's on top. If it's underneath, we don't get the length that we need. We lift this up, which shortens the distance between. It hooks straight on, and they tighten up when it comes down.
Lift that last corner up to fit the final end of the top cable on the frame. That's the secret to the puzzle.
Next step is to get the canvas on top, the top canvas up.
With the cables on, we are ready to unroll the top of the tent onto the frame. Find the nylon loops on the corners of the tent top and line them up with the corner pieces. On 3 of the corners, you will hook them on like this. Pro tip, shove that nylon loop well clear of the corner piece's hole. Tuck it back tight. That little hole's where your light duty hook's got to go later, once the legs are up and the corner's towering 8 feet high. So, don't let that loop foul things up. Push it aside now to save a proper headache later.
One of these corners has this strap on it. This is the strap that goes on last.
Put the corner with the long pull strap on last. You'll see how you will use this strap to pull that last nylon loop over the last corner. Hey, why don't my bed sheets come with one of these?
Then this one with the strap just gives you the ability to really pull onto that corner to hook it around.
Caution! When looping on the corners, make sure the side flaps and rope rigging are on the top side. If they are on the inside, well, the whole thing will have to come down now, won't it? This rigging is where the heavy-duty straps will hook into. Mind you keep this straight now, so you won't be sorry later.
Just have to make sure that these straps here are not tucked under so that they're out and free. They have to be on the outside of that strap, right? What I had it before was that tucked under there, and you're sunk. That's wrong.
Now, you'll put the first 2 legs on as shown here.
Putting these legs up, you want to make sure that the straps are on the outside of the legs. So if this cable is down, you just have to make sure that the strap ends up on the outside.
See here, he's got it right. Rigging on the outside of the loop and the outside of the pole. Time to put on the feet. Just like with everything else, there's a right way to do it.
It's sometimes easier to wait to put these on until the whole tent is up. I'm going to show what you would do in a high wind situation. So we're going to lift this, put the leg on. That hook is pointing diagonally out, like diagonally out from its opposite corner.
When you slip the foot on the bottom of the 8-foot leg, have the hook facing away from the inside of the tent and aligning with the hole in the corner piece. This hook will hold the ring of the heavy-duty strap.
Then we'll bring on one of the fat straps and we'll hook the hook into the eye here. And the ring goes onto the hook down here. These open up, pull that lever. Sometimes it's helpful to pull this lever as well. Pull that all the way flat. That will let this move freely. And then we'll hook that on. You always pull this strap tight first.
Here's something important about the straps. Uh-oh, here comes the strap enforcement sergeant. Sarge, did you want to say something?
Step aside, Reginald! Listen up, recruits! If you thought this was going to be easy, think again. These straps will make or break the entire operation. It's imperative, I said, imperative, that you pull the slack through the spindle before you start to ratchet. My grandma can understand what I'm saying, but I better say it again slowly so you understand me clearly. Pull the slack through the spindle before you use the ratchet.
It's actually helpful if you have like one twist in it. Having one twist in this keeps it, when the wind blows, it keeps this from flapping and making a really loud noise. If this goes straight down, it can end up being quite a sound.
We've got more pro tips than politicians have promises. But here's a good one, folks. Put one twist in the strap before you hook it on. Do this for all the straps. It keeps down the noise when the wind picks up.
To release this lever here to let it come back to start ratcheting, you always want to pull this as tight as you can first, because there's just not that much space, there's not that much room on the coil here to get that much strap underneath. These ropes, I'm putting pressure against these ropes, and that is pulling all the way through to the next one. And so I don't want to put too much pressure on here until I have the other ones ready to tighten down. Otherwise, one of these gets pulled long and the rest of them end up being really short.
This is also important. This is one long piece of rope that needs to move freely at all the corners. Ensure that it doesn't get tangled and that it maintains this triangle shape with the metal loop at the bottom. After you've pulled the slack through the spindle, just use a gentleman's touch to ratchet so you don't unevenly pull the continuous bottom rope down too far. Now it's time to use the interior clips to secure the canvas top to the 10-foot poles. But don't pull them snug yet. Listen to our fearless leader.
So these don't have to be on like completely tight. That actually looks about right. So on this tent, clipped in, it's got about 5 inches of tail hanging off.
Now, for safety's sake, it's better to lift the frame that's resting on the ground so you can secure those clips too. Otherwise, you'll have to do it once it's 8 feet in the air.
1, 2, 3, up. That just let them strap those on.
It's time to bring out the center pole. It's what holds the center of the tent up, folks.
So we've got a hole here that the center pole has to go through.
Put the narrow end through the opening in the top of the tent.
So we'll just push that all the way in. And now whichever cable is on top is the one that we have to run this down.
Make sure the top cable lines up with the narrow groove on the bottom of the center pole.
I need someone to come in here and lift the center pole for me. So we're going to bring the plastic bottom on here. It's got a metal protector strap in here. That one there? Yeah, or is it? Yes, there. And that's what's going to run along the wire. So you lift, I'll pull. I'm just going to bring this right down in. We just need to put down pressure on this cable to get it to come underneath. So we'll push down, bring it over.
The clip is only for holding in this pin. Do not, I say do not, attach it under the cables.
Now that the center pole is up, it's time to put on the last 2 legs.
It works a little bit better if you have the manpower to do these both at the same time. You can do them one leg at a time.
Don't forget to put on the last 2 feet. You can tighten these straps more securely. Now that the feet are securely attached, holding the legs into the frame, you can move the tent if needed.
You can move these tents after they're set up to this point as long as you've got all 4 of the feet on and strapped. Otherwise, sometimes you'll go to lift it and a leg will end up coming out.
If you need to move the tent, you must all move together. If one person needs to stop, yell, stop. Corner pieces can break otherwise.
Stop.
Once the tent is where you want it, it's time to stake the feet into the ground.
For this stake to go in well, you have to hit it so the force is going exactly in line with the stake. That means you've got to get the handle parallel to the ground at the point where it strikes.
Don't go all John Henry on me with that hammer. Leave the stake up 2 inches so it can be levered out if necessary.
You want to try to make sure this leg is pretty straight. Looks like it's leaning that way, so let's pull that whole leg that way.
Have a buddy step back and make sure the legs look plumb and straight before you try to secure them. Just make sure he hasn't got a short leg. Finally, we are to the last step. Putting on the light duty straps for a guy wire or anchor. I think that pirate got to me.
So these hooks have to go up through the hole that's on this corner. Sometimes that strap's in the way, so I just use a stake to kind of move it out of the way, get enough room for the hook to go in. And the hook goes up through the bottom and then over to the top.
Well, these instructions sound like something my mum does with her crochet. Take the hook and go up, under, and over. Will it be mittens next?
I'm going to measure in a straight line from that corner to this corner to where the stake is going, 2 lengths of a stake. And then if I've got the room to go a little bit more, I'll do that. Going straight in. Diagonally right. So in a straight line, this stake to that leg to the next leg.
Use your eagle eye to line up the 2 diagonal legs and the stake for your light-duty strap. You'll do this for all 4 legs.
You got to make sure this is loose so that the strap can actually, that nail can go in, because it's not enough length on it the way it was.
All stakes should be driven in straight, not at an angle. Pound the stake through the closed circle so it won't come loose.
On these straps, you always want to pull this completely tight before you start to ratchet. There's just not that much room to bring up the strap onto the ratchet here. So if you start with it loose, you're ratcheting way too much on. So you pull it tight first, and then you ratchet.
With 2 people working diagonally from each other, ratchet the straps simultaneously to keep the tension even.
Should be about a B flat. Yep, that's right. Right on.
That's all there is to it. It takes about 15 minutes for a good team to put up one of these tents. That's right, less time than it does to watch this video. But we hope you found it helpful. Here's a quick review of how it goes up. There's nothing to it. Thanks for watching. We value your time and don't take it for granted. Cheerio!
Hey, if I were you, I'd watch this 2 more times. Young man, threats are no way to speak to patriots. Public virtue, lad. Appeal to their sense of public virtue. I mean, if you watch it again, it will render a great service.
Hey, do you think I can come and help set up these tents?
It sounds like this is going to be a great event, and I'd like to be part of it.
I mean, with all of you volunteering and coming together, I've been looking for something like this. It'd be great.
To volunteer, go to links.colonialheritage.org, scroll down to volunteer to help.